Dear friends, after a fully subscribed FPO, yesterday's decision of his withdrawal would have surprised many. But considering the volatility of the market seen yesterday, our board strongly felt that it would not have been morally correct to proceed with the FPO. For me, the interest of my investor is paramount and everything is secondary. Hence, to insulate the investors from potential losses, we have withdrawn the FPO. This decision will not have any impact on our existing operations as well as our future plans.
In a shocking about turn, Adani Enterprises withdrew its 20,000 crore rupee follow-on public offer within hours after it was fully subscribed. The group's chairman, Gautam Adani, later claimed in a video address that it was not morally correct to proceed. Adani assured that the fundamentals of the company were very strong and the balance sheet healthy. The market volatility, which forced Adani to withdraw India's largest FPO, continued on Thursday too, as the group company's stocks again hit the lower circuit. The rout in the group's shares started on January 25th, just hours after the release of a 106-page report by American short seller Hindenburg Research. The report alleged that the conglomerate had engaged in a brazen stock manipulation and accounting fraud scheme. Morning of February 2nd, the Adani Group's cumulative market capitalization losses since the short seller attack stood at over 8.2 trillion rupees. The Adani Group's response was that Hindenburg's intent behind releasing the report was to profiteer at the cost of the former's shareholders and public investors, as the latter holds short positions in various listed companies of the Adani portfolio. A day after calling off the FPO, shares of Adani Enterprises plummeted 26.5% on the bourses. Meanwhile, other group stocks sank between 5 and 10%. Gautam Adani has said that the group will review the capital raising plans of its flagship, Adani Enterprises, once its share price stabilizes. The group chairman also said that the focus on long-term value creation would continue, adding that growth would be managed by internal accruals. However, the group's troubles are mounting. US lender Citigroup Inc.'s wealth arm has reportedly stopped accepting securities of Adani Group firms as collateral for margin loans. The development comes amid increasing scrutiny of Adani's finances by banks. It also comes after a similar change at Credit Suisse Group AG. According to experts, the biggest risk for the group would be if more financial institutions start scrutinizing their exposure to it and access to financing becomes more challenging. These developments come at a time when Adani is pursuing a global expansion of businesses that stretch from cement and green energy to ports and mining. So, what's next for the Adani Group?
See, as a chief financial officer or a promoter of any company, if I had a fundraise plan, I would have thought of some need for the funds, and Adani is probably for the business growth and for paying off debt was what the offer document said. So from that perspective, if you see what immediate is, how do they bridge this gap? One is either they put off some plans. For example, one day before they announced a $1.2 billion Haifa port acquisition. Probably part of it was to be funded by these 20,000 crores. We don't know. That was Adani Ports, which is a separate listed company. Adani Enterprises itself probably had other plans. One is that. Two is probably they will have to take slightly more debt from banks or whatever to sort of to fund some of their already pre-committed, I would say, capex.
So the Adani fiasco is a very interesting one because, of course, after it was fully subscribed, the issue by having him call in favors from his friends, they would have lost about 30 to 40 or almost 50% of their investment had they taken up the offer. So he had little choice but to withdraw and say, okay, I refund everybody's money, because these are, of course, his friends. Now, the problem is that he's still stuck with the same problem, which is he doesn't have a diversified enough shareholding. And, how do you capitalize that parent entity?
And can the group bounce back? If yes, how? And what may be the challenges involved?
When you use the word bounce back, is it a stock price or a business? The Hindenburg report by itself, I don't think has impacted Adani's core business by itself. Much of the businesses of all the 7 companies are in core infrastructure where even you and I, if we are in Bombay, we switch on the light or the fan, we are actually paying revenue to the Adanis. So from that perspective, there may not be immediate impact or any impact on the core business itself. So bouncing back from a business-wise perspective, as I told as a response to the previous question, is probably the impact of the 20,000 crores which they were supposed to raise for the business purposes, and how they are going to bridge that gap of 20,000 crores, whether they are going to raise some more debt or postpone some of the plans which they had earmarked these 20,000 crores for, etc., etc.
The wonderful part of India is that we give everybody, especially well-connected promoters, second, third, fourth, fifth chances. So I'm sure he will be back. He will be back without too much problems, except for one thing. Foreign institutions, Indian mutual funds that are privately run, will shun him. On the other hand, for LIC, for State Bank of India, for many others, promoter-related companies that he has all over the world, this is not an issue, and they will continue to be having their holdings and investing even more if needed. But his immediate problem is he has to stop the shared losses that he's taking in all these companies, because when that happens, the market loses confidence and individual retail shareholders will stop holding on to Adani shares. His big problem is the issue of getting retail investors and foreign investors interested in the Adani Group companies is going to be very challenging.
The fact that union ministers have had to clarify that India's economy and green energy ambitions will be able to withstand Adani's troubles shows how closely the group's story has come to be identified with that of the country. This also means that it is all the more important for the group to settle the allegations against it at the earliest.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.